This is the second part of a series of tips and tricks you can use to speed up your campaign. And in this video I will go over 19 tips that you can use to get a smooth Act 2 for any character. This one is mostly for all the melee characters out there. You can prevent Wrathbreaker from doing his stampede run at the start of the fight by just simply hugging the wall at the entrance or shield charging to him. When first entering Halani Gates, you don't have to talk to Asala there. As soon as the quest updates, you can just go back to the caravan, most efficiently by respawning to checkpoint or using a TP. There is a magic pack spawning next to a checkpoint in the mines that you can farm for gear and XP. The location is random and the range of mobs you get depends on the instance. But if you happen to come across this spot and you get 5 mobs at least sometimes, then it can be worth staying here for a level or so if you need to. Roughly midway through Trader's Gate, you will come up to a crossing where one of the directions will have notes on the walls. Following these notes will always lead you to Balbala, and the other direction will typically lead you to the Halani Gates entrance. If you enter the first gate in the Halani Gates too quickly, Asala refuses to follow you until you come back to her. To avoid wasting time on her, you can just respawn at the checkpoint near Lim the Impaler instead and she will be there. Lim the Impaler midway through Halani Gates can often be worth killing as she has a guaranteed rare martial weapon drop. After the second gate, there is a pack of statues near the checkpoint that give you up to 9% XP per reset. So if the pack is big, it might be worth farming this spot up to level 20 if you need to. In some leagues, this pack is too small to be worth farming. The Ancient Vows quest in Act 2 require 2 different relics, one of which are only dropped by snake mobs in Catherlos City, and one of which only drop from the hyena mobs in Bone Pits. Rattlecage's death explosion in the Trial of Sekimas can't actually hurt you. You can also just TP directly to town from the reward room, no need to exit via the portal already there. This building in Keth contains a guaranteed amulet and a magic pack, so it's definitely worth going and grabbing that if you find it on your way. The Golden Beetle area in Lost City can be used for XP farming if you need to. Killing the small beetles that always spawn gives you up to 10% XP in a good instance. These mobs can do a ton of lightning damage though, so be careful. In Buried Shrines there's a spot where you can choose one resistance ring of your choosing. Ruby and Fire resistance is in general the best for the campaign, but Topaz and Lightning resist to swap for some bosses is also very good. Azarian, the boss in Buried Shrines, can be attacked and damaged during his dialogue, even if his health bar has yet to show up. After Halani Gates, you can choose to go to 3 different areas. The area levels in those areas depend on the order you enter them, lowest area level for the ones you enter first. The area level of the other zones increases as you enter other zones and kill bosses. So if you just want to quickly progress past the zones, you can skip killing the bosses before you grab the waypoints to the last zones in all 3 cases. In this case I entered the Buried Shrines first, then Bone Pits and lastly Titan Grotto to get area level 23, 24 and 25 respectively, instead of 23, 25 and 27 respectively. Remember, you need to keep the instances of these areas alive or else you will reset to the higher intended area level. You can also just reset the instance if you want to fight the first boss at the highest area level, for example. At the Titan boss, there's a special spot you can stand on where he will almost never hit you, and the hits you do take you can easily tank. You can easily find this spot by running along the edge on his right side until the terrain blocks further movement. You can even dodge his fire breath from here. The letter in the shark can spawn near any tower as far as we know. The only thing we know for sure is that the letter is always on the south side of a tower. The permanent lightning resist buff in Spires of the Sharks also have a pretty random spawn, but the section that it spawns on always look the same. It is in a big circle and it always only have a south and east exit. There will also always be a path not connecting to it on its northwest and southwest side that you can leap slam across. If you see any section fit in this description, check it out immediately. There's a magic pack at the end of Dreadnought spawning near a checkpoint. They should give around 15% XP per reset. It's generally a good idea to stay here until you are somewhere between level 29 to 31 with solid gear on a league start.